Hey guys, we have some awesome guests this week. It's Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendos.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we got a little ad for you. Blood Brothers 2, the sequel to Blood Brothers, is an action-packed dark fantasy RPG available for free right now on Apple and Android devices.
Blood Brothers 2 immerses players in a deep RPG experience set in Arnashia, a world which has been thrown into a state of chaos and war. Amazing art style, storytelling, and RPG mechanics sets Blood Brothers 2 apart from other RPG mobile games.
Yeah, it also offers a limitless amount of choices to customize your army and story to shape your gameplay experience, including a PvP mode that allows you to team up with friends.
So check out bloodbrothers2.com, that's the number 2, for more information, and visit the App Store or Google Play Store now to download Blood Brothers 2 for free. Join in weekly events to choose your fate and determine the flow of the game's story.
Now let's get it on with the friendos. Woo! It's a long one today, right?
It's a good one.
Good. All right, welcome back to the Ask Us Anything podcast. We have some very special guests today.
We're changing up a lot of things this week.
Yeah,
we're not in the back alley anymore.
A piece of our soundproofing
Our
just
set's already falling apart
down there, but it's a lot nicer in here. We get actual chairs to sit in, and it's a little bit more soundproof because there's not ambulances riding by.
The biggest difference, however, is that our guests aren't even in the room with us.
They're not even in the room. This
They're
is
in
so
our
much more
PC.
comfortable. Yeah, it's sponsored by PC Brand Computers.
It's Steve and Larson of Steve and Larson.
So, say hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello, guys.
Now, this is weird. I don't know how this is going to end up, but it is very interesting to do a Skype podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll be just great. How are you guys doing?
It's just going to end up with dicks everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's just be
It
honest.
will.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys
Within
already
30
took your
minutes.
pants
Yeah,
gonna be
you
all
already
cock.
said that your pants are off.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason for them to be on. They're off as much as
Yeah,
possible.
whenever I'm over there, Steve has his pants off. I have to ask him to put them back on.
And I never say
especially
yes.
because there's children around.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our
Yeah,
next
generally
point.
speaking.
Welcome to Dadcast, the podcast that Elliot and all of you guys made while you were drunk after I had left about how to raise children.
Yeah.
Correction. Elliot was drunk. I was firmly against the idea, and Larson was all in. So none of this is going to be good.
wasn't
All right,
drunk
just go.
either,
Okay,
so.
as a collective, can you guys give us the number one tip? This is the first episode of Dadcast right now.
Oh,
What's
no,
the number one
no,
tip
don't
on how
talk.
to raise children correctly?
Always have baby wipes. Always. Always,
Wrong.
always, always.
I already have that.
Wrong.
Done.
Just
Toilet
bad,
paper doesn't
no.
get the job done half
No.
the time, so you know.
Screw the plumbing.
The number one tip for raising a kid is keep lots of Similac around.
I told you to stop putting your suppositories on the camera because we can't show that. All right. Do
Got
you
poo
guys
all
get the
over it.
questions that I sent you, or no? We're just gonna
Yes,
wing it.
I have the question.
I'll
All
have to
right,
look.
well,
Oh, fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Yeah. Okay. So to set this first question up, you guys are huge wrestling fans, are you
Oh
not?
my God,
Yeah.
ridiculous wrestling fans.
Yeah. So the first question comes from Jeffster0224. By the way, you submit these questions to our Reddit. It's r/etc show. That's what all these people did. And if you want to have your questions answered by us or any of our guests, head there to get them asked. So yeah, Jeffster0224. Who's your favorite wrestler? And I think I'm going to go back who's your wrestler? I'm going to go back from who's your favorite wrestler from the 80s, 90s, and then the one that's currently wrestling today.
Very good question. Very good question, Jeffster. Larson, do you want to
Sure.
go first?
From the earlier days, 80s and 90s, it's kind of a
classics.
Yeah, the classics. It's kind of a toss-up between Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, he's from my hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. He was at my
yeah.
my friend's high school graduation. Very nice. Snapping in
rad.
Slim Jims and everything. It's good.
And the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, who might be probably the best in-ring performer of all time. Today,
There's no might be about that. He is bar
Yeah.
none the best in ring.
Yeah, he is. Today, it's Seth Rollins and probably Daniel Bryan, those two.
See, Daniel Bryan's like the only one I know besides John Cena from the new class.
I know that Seth Rollins, a bunch of nudes got leaked of him or something.
Oh
recently.
yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
We gotta put
his
that in the
dick-
next.
his dick was everywhere.
Gotta put that in the next social media fails.
Oh, it's in there.
Oh, good. Yeah. Daniel Bryan's like the only one. I actually, for the first time, went to a WWE match last year.
Oh, that's right.
And I'd always wanted to go as a kid. Even as an adult, not knowing who half the wrestlers were, it was an amazing performance.
Yeah.
It's like Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, it really is.
Man, our buddy Hilton got front row tickets that his wife wouldn't let him go to, and so he sold it to me.
Oh, nice.
And it was a house show, and it was what we call I think actually they call the B team, which
Yeah.
means it was like all the wrestlers I kind of didn't want to see.
Yeah.
But it was front row, and it has completely spoiled me on wrestling. I can't do another. We literally have WrestleMania tickets,
Yeah.
and I don't want to go because it's not front row. I'm having Larson refund my ticket. Front row, even at a shitty house show, is fucking amazing. It was outstanding.
You'll get a
Did you
refund
get
on
any
your
sweat
ticket.
on
Oh,
you?
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, there's latency. Did you get any sweat on you, or touched, or hit by any debris?
I got a selfie with Roman Reigns, who's going to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I hate that. I can't stand the guy. I was actually trying to get a selfie of me booing him, but they're like savvy to selfies now. Like, so he was coming around the ring and hopping in everybody's picture. And then he hops into mine right as I'm trying to boo him. And he does like the whatever this shit is.
Yeah,
so,
shaka bra.
Yeah. And so I have to like him now because he did something that was actually really kind of sweet.
He's
So
changing
I'm-
people's
I'm
perceptions every day.
All right, go ahead, Larson.
go.
Oh, I was going to
Go
say,
ahead,
I forgot what I was going to say. Has to do with WrestleMania, but I forgot. Whatever.
Steve,
Oh, you
favorite
said,
wrestler, Steve.
I wasn't going to get my refund unless what?
Unless I actually managed to sell your ticket. So we'll see about that.
That shouldn't be an issue. It's WrestleMania. Everybody should want that
But there's
ticket.
still 10th
Where is that at? Where's WrestleMania
in Santa Clara,
at this year?
in the Bay,
San Jose
in the
area.
Bay.
Oh, I was going to say if it was here, I would maybe buy it.
But there's 10,000
Too
unsold
bad.
seats still for WrestleMania. So
What?
yeah,
Yeesh.
There's how many?
10,000.
Oh, man, I might have to go. That sucks. We need to promote the fact that it's next to you in Hilton. I think that'll get people to buy this.
Well, I'm not putting it on eBay.
Steve,
I'll put it on eBay. It's my ticket.
Okay.
favorite wrestler, Steve.
My favorite wrestler of all time is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Who absolutely has, in my mind, no debate, the best podcast running
Oh
today.
yeah, it's great.
His
Yeah?
transition from wrestler to
Podcast host?
to podcast host has been he's a really good interviewer. It's insane.
Oh, he's an amazing personality.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
he
rattlesnake.
is.
We
He's
were saying,
hilarious.
I think it was on this last trip, we were saying that Stone Cold Steve Austin needs his own daytime court show. Or
Yeah.
when he does the sentencing, he's like, and that's the bottom line
Yeah.
because Stone Cold said so.
Because Judge Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, and he cracks a beer after every trial. It'd be great.
Awesome.
hell yeah.
He salutes the guy who won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it stuns
modern
everybody.
modern wrestler.
Modern wrestler is, I would say, Seth Rollins, pretty much hands down. Not just because he showed his dick to everybody.
But that's a good reason.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's up there. Believe me, it's up
It
there.
was a pretty
but-
decent sized dick for a sport that where everyone's like
You
rumored
look
to be
so
on
serious
steroids
when
all the
you say
time.
that. You know, it's a pretty decent sized dick.
I would have
regardless of
imagined it
what
would have
that-
been very
regardless
tiny with
what that
all the
study
drugs
said.
going around.
Yeah.
Well, their bodies are so big. I mean,
Yeah, everything
even
looks small in
even a
comparison.
big penis would look relatively small next to those beefy, muscle-bound bodies of theirs.
Not to bring it back around to Dadcast, but it's like when you're a kid and you inadvertently see your dad's penis. It's huge. I mean, they cover this on Workaholics.
no, it's like the
This
opposite
isn't-
of that.
No, it looks huge.
If you have a normal sized dad, but if your dad,
You have a normal sized dad?
yeah, if your dad was huge, like,
But still, when you're a
his
kid, the
penis
penis
would
is-
look smaller.
The penis is going to be huge
Well,
regardless as a
any
child.
penis is huge to you as a child.
Yeah.
That's just
I
a
thought
fact.
I was the only one who accidentally saw his dad's dick when I was
Everyone.
a kid.
everyone.
My dad didn't care. He just would walk.
Just walk
You
around
just
naked.
walked around. It was National Geographic in your house.
Yeah, deal with it.
Nice.
Okay, well, I guess we
yeah,
can move
Seth
on to the
Rollins,
next
he's my
question.
favorite.
Oh, God. All right.
My favorite wrestler of all time, Mick Foley, in all of his
Oh, yeah,
incarnations, because
yeah.
he showed that you didn't have to be like super buff or handsome or anything. You just had to be fucking insane and
he
have a
was
great
Handsome
pain
Jack,
tolerance.
wasn't he? So he had handsome right in the
Cactus
name.
Jack.
Cactus Jack. Never mind. Handsome Jack's the guy from Borderlands.
Borderlands.
And that's how much I know about wrestling. So there you go. I don't know. I
We
love
gotta
the-
truly pop your cherry one of these days, Ricky.
Yeah.
Well, I really loved the bad boy era in the late '90s, where it was like
The Attitude
WCW
era, yeah.
versus
Attitude.
WWF. Like, I really enjoyed that. Like, that's when I actually watched it. It was like The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and Gold
Oh, yeah.
Dust and all that stuff.
Everybody loved it.
D-Generation X. They really just didn't give a shit back then.
Yeah, it was. They were saying "suck it" on like
Yeah.
primetime TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
Society
like
was
everything but
falling
nipple.
apart.
Yeah.
The wrestling was the first time I'd ever heard the word pay-per-view when I was very young, and I thought that only meant you could read about it in the newspaper. Like, they're doing the match. You'll read about it tomorrow.
It's a pay per view.
So I was a very ignorant child.
I think I thought the same thing. Too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, take the next one, Elliot.
All right. Moving on from the wrestling.
Oh, this is very self-congratulatory, this one.
We _show_ asks, was there any video that Ricky and Elliot did that you guys wish you could have host or co-host and vice versa?
So you got, I guess we'll take it first.
So, what did you like that we made?
Yeah, guys.
Well, geez, of all the ones that I can think of, I have a whole list of Ricky and Elliot love videos here.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was always my thing. I wanted to get on the creepy text theater.
Yeah, that's...
Well, you
and
did.
I did that. I know.
I think that works
So
both ways, yeah. We wanted you on,
If that question
and
was
you did
asked
it.
like 6 months ago, then that's my answer, and I did it.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Success story.
Yeah. Yes.
Larson, what did you want to be
what
on?
about you?
I hate to sound like a
And don't say this don't ever say this most recent episode of AFK, because we'll talk your ear off about that off the camera.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find out about it soon.
Yeah. Not to sound like a broken record, but if I hadn't been on Creepy Text, it would have been that as well, because that was one of the joys of my professional life, was being able to be on Creepy Text Theater.
I cannot wait for your kids to grow up and
Yeah.
watch that video.
Find it.
Show it to all their friends when they're teenagers. They'll love it. If the internet hasn't imploded by then.
You know what's
my
funny
hope.
about that is that I got so many. I was sort of exposed for my job by like that video, because on Facebook, all of a sudden, people who I don't really give a shit about, and they don't know what I do.
Oh, they're gonna see this too, so mind your words.
Yeah, whatever. If they saw that without having, you know how it is on Facebook. You have like 300 friends and none of them you ever talk to, because why would you bother? And so it's like they don't know what you do for a job. Like, I don't put that shit on the personal Facebook because I don't really care. But when I was on that was like a real sort of crossover into the mainstream type thing, because so many people that I knew that had no idea what I do, they were like, holy shit, I know that guy. And then they'd hit me up and be like, hey, I know you were in that thing. So
Buy me a beer, rich man.
I know, exactly. Hey, you're making that big Sasha Grey money now.
Well, I'm glad we can make all of your dreams come true.
And I guess for us preemptively, of course, we want to be on the Dadcast.
That's so disappointing.
No, we'll make that happen for sure.
It's the worst answer.
I think honestly, I'm most excited for the new list show, because the trailer was so intense. I feel like it's going to be an action movie version of the list show. Very well done.
The gloves are off.
Yeah.
It's literally 10 for the win with one minor change.
No, that's a major change, Steve. Come on.
And that's only because, one big change, because right now I've had like the forever cough. And whenever I try to say something like really loud, I just start coughing furiously. And so I couldn't say the entries that like I would traditionally do all the entries. This is spoiler alert here for people.
Yeah, this is
don't pull
exclusive
the,
here.
Exclusive breaking here on AMA. And so
AUA,
Larson,
goddammit.
Yeah, AUA, Steve.
What?
AUA.
AU, ask us anything.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Whatever. And so
our theme
Larson
song's
now,
just Tim Allen just going, oh.
Wilson. So Larson now shouts all the entries, and that's a permanent thing. That's basically the only.
Wait, so your voice is gone forever?
What's that?
Your voice is gone forever?
No. I still have my voice. I'm just committed to having him yell the entry
the
names.
template has changed, and now this is the new way.
Okay, great.
I'm still going to yell a lot. I mean,
The old guard is dead.
Yes.
So before that was just one voice saying all the numbers?
No, not the numbers. The names of the entries.
Oh, okay.
Like, if we're talking about top 10, entries or whatever.
I see.
Whoever.
Cammy White.
When does that premiere?
Yeah.
Oh, Thursday.
When does that premiere? Okay, Thursday. Well, this will be up
Tomorrow morning,
This will be up Sunday,
morning,
so it'll be up by the time this airs.
So
last Thursday. This past Thursday.
Yeah, this past Thursday in
Yeah.
the future when this show goes up on
Yeah,
Sunday.
so we'll put links to their channel and stuff like that, obviously.
I mean, hopefully it'll be all Thursdays.
Yeah.
So if I say Thursday, it's going to be Thursday.
Yeah, good. Do you guys want to read the third question there?
Oh, you'll have to do that,
list
Steve.
that I've provided you with?
All right. Let's see here. What is this? Where did you find? This is from.
Say his name.
I was about to. This is from Sick Tick.
Yeah.
Where did you find all the different themes for 10 for the win? And was it difficult towards the end?
The end?
Well,
Yeah, well, that's the good thing. No, that's actually the good
Yeah,
thing
you can
about
start
us
over now.
starting a new show is that we can literally take all the subjects from over 500 episodes
Yeah.
and just redo them.
And
Well, no, and you can update them as
Yeah, your
well.
opinions may have changed.
There's plenty of stuff that
That
either
sounds like
opinions
too
have
much work.
changed.
I just want to do the exact same list. I want to do
Yeah.
top 10 reasons why Battlefield 2 is better than Modern Warfare
Yeah.
2.
Perfect.
it's still
the
top
people
of the
want to
line.
know.
Yeah, people still want to know that.
People still want. There might be different reasons at this point.
You should go way back before you guys were even on that show and do top 10 Halo headshots on
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the
OMG barbecue
ravine
sauce.
map.
Top
Old,
10 Halo
like,
headshots.
old
Yeah,
Anaj videos.
Yeah,
Top 10 Anaj videos.
because that's what that show started off as, right? It was like
Right, I
Halo
think so.
plays.
Yeah, the
And
first
then it
episode
turned-
was Kovic hosting, I think it was top 10 Halo 3 OMG barbecue sauce kills or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. good.
How did it evolve from that into being like a pop culture video game like list history show?
I guess it's about February
Mystery.
2010. We got asked to take over on a part-time basis. And at that point, it was still strictly video games, and it had broadened out to more general topics, not just stuff like Halo 3 kills. And so we were splitting time between it was us, and then it was also I think Matt Danovic did some, Rob Talbert did some.
It was a whore. It was passed around.
Yeah,
from person to
Brendan
person, from Machinima.
And then you guys
personality
married the whore.
to
Yeah.
exactly. And
So then
we did that Helms from Hangover. We married the whore.
Yeah.
So 6 months later we
so
took over. So, and then that's when everything started.
And then
happening.
and then when they started up the ETC channel officially, they were like, let's broaden it out to entertainment, tech, and culture and stuff. And so,
And I'm pretty sure Busty Movie Babes is still one of the top viewed videos on there. I think it's.
I think it's
know.
number 3 on the
3.
channel, I think.
Yeah.
Damn it! I'm sad that it dropped down. Well, yeah, you guys had Sasha Grey in there. Though. We're not going to compete with her.
Sorry.
Is that Creepy Text number 1?
I think it is. No. It's like the Hercules. trailer
Well,
or
okay,
something.
yeah. Out of the videos that Machinima actually made and wasn't like a trailer, like Sharknado's really high up there, and then the Hercules trailer's really high
Yeah.
up there. But other than those, yeah, it's like Sasha Grey is number 1, and then I think after that it's like top 10 busty beauties.
Yeah.
So
We just, I mean, at a certain point, you can't just literally say top 10 biggest titties in Hollywood.
Yeah. That's
I'm
a little
sure
too.
with
You're
Liz
going
Shock
too
with
far.
the new show, we'll probably get around to doing that.
Yeah.
I think as soon as this
Push
Saturday
comes
we
to
might.
shove. Top,
Yeah.
no,
top 10 grossest camel toes.
But you have to follow it up
10
with top
thickest
10
nipples.
grossest moose knuckles so that you're fair.
top,
top
10.
10 bloodiest assholes. in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
perfect.
It just turns
so
into
I
like a porn list show.
I guess that answers how you come up with the themes. I guess.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
How do you come up with a new one every week?
Kind of
two
just
a
like
week at
this.
some point. Yeah, just shooting the shit.
Yeah, pretty much. It just towards
Yeah,
the.
I mean, we try to go topical
Yeah, the
too.
last
Like
year
whatever,
especially.
if there's a game coming out, we're gonna aim for, depending on how the GTA heist server issue is. I haven't even tried to get on today, but we're gonna aim for our Saturday episode to be GTA heist, like something that related, if we can get enough footage between now and then.
Yeah.
But we try to keep it topical because people like stuff now.
Well, it's more searchable,
it's on
too.
my brain.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
just basic SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing how to make
Yeah.
people watch videos.
Okay, so
Exactly.
take an SEO course at your local community college, and then you'll figure out how to be topical, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so I'll move on to the next one.
Oh man, topicality! I just thought top 10 ISIS kills. Oh, we should.
Oh
do
my god.
No. Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, there was that one today with that young boy that decapitated a man.
Oh
Anyways.
God, I'm sorry about that. Oh,
Yeah.
that was
So I
terrifying.
guess this leads into the next question from Just Out Today. Asks, what's a top 10 you've wanted to make but never got around to it?
I think he just answered
Yeah, I
that
think you pretty much
question.
just answered
Steve's
that.
been sitting on that
And
one
now
for a while.
you can still, now that you have the new show, you don't really, it's not like something you haven't done or haven't gotten around to. You'll probably be able to do it. But what's one that you always wanted to do?
I think the one that's up this last Thursday, the
Oh yeah, we've had that cooking for a
top
while.
10 glitchiest games, we've had that in the queue for
Oh,
like
yeah.
a year, I want to say.
Yeah, for quite a while. Yeah.
It just never seemed like the right time to do it. So,
And that'll be,
this
as
is-
of this airing, that will be out, right?
yeah.
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
perfect. So there you go.
And
Just Out Today.
top 10 dad tips.
Yeah. Soon.
Hey, how about this, Elliot? You can guest on the show with Larson, and you guys can talk about dad tips.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
to
gonna
get someone
I'm gonna
pregnant
sit,
first.
You see that chair back there? It's facing the wall. I'm going to sit
Yeah.
in that chair and just yell at you guys.
Look away.
It's like
Yeah.
you're being
All right,
punished.
well, we'll talk about this later.
yeah, absolutely.
This one kind of we
Who
already
hasn't
answered.
read a question yet?
Larson,
He doesn't have.
Oh,
those
you don't
questions.
have them. All right, well,
So
you're not allowed to.
skip this one because we already kind of answered that with a previous one, and then go
Okay.
to this.
So the Eternal Sigh asks, the internet has many highs and many lows, as you guys must experience every day. What do you think you would be doing for a living if the internet didn't exist?
Well, I went to community college to be a police officer.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, because I was straight edge back then, and just wanted to bust some druggies, man. Little did I know, a couple years later, I'd be taking giant hits from the bong and getting wasted
Yeah.
every night. I don't do it anymore, but
You can still do that as a
Yeah.
cop, I think.
I think you can too. I think it's a little bit different. But
You
no,
should-
I
you
was
gotta-
very
yeah.
interested in
These days,
in
especially.
all jokes aside, I was very interested in the detective side of it, solving crimes and stuff like that. It was just something I was always interested in throughout high school, and I thought that it would be a fun job. And And at that point, like, for me, there wasn't too many options. Like, I never thought that video stuff would ever pan out because YouTube
didn't exist.
It wouldn't be invented for years.
Yeah.
And I was like, and my dad was also like, got to get a secure job that'll get you that paycheck and a retirement plan. And I'm like, well, cop will do that. So it's absolutely
really
nothing
wise
like what I've
advice,
been.
actually. That's really
nothing
good
like what
advice.
would have been now.
All this video business.
Yeah.
I mean,
what about you, Elliot?
I guess you could have filmmaking without the internet. They did for about 100 years.
Yeah.
That's what I studied. So I probably would have ended up in some other part of that industry. But I mean, other than that, like, I could see doing something skilled with my hands, like really nice carpentry or like metal work, something like that. Like
a regular Ron Swanson.
So, yeah, just making canoes and shit like that. I find working with my hands very soothing.
Yeah, I was like really into like BMX and skateboarding and stuff, and I was pretty decent at it back then. But it was just like I guess I was just realistic. I guess it's just like, well, this isn't gonna pan out.
And that's if Tony Hawk had that same thought, we would have no Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah,
2.
I'm like the kid in Whiplash where the guy starts abusing him and he just goes, "Yeah, I quit."
All right, well,
You're right. You're right. I give up. Yeah, I'll probably never amount to anything.
Never follow your dreams.
Don't follow your dreams. That's the tip of the show.
Yeah, that's
what about you
Dadcast
guys?
Dream. Yeah, tip number 1: son, never follow your dreams.
Yeah,
Get that
very
secure
realistic
job.
father.
Yes.
You're bad at everything. Just stop now.
Yeah, just stop now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if there was no internet, before I started doing the video, so like I went to film school, but I've always been a big comic book nerd, and so from an early age I drew a lot, and so I actually tried to be a self publisher. Like I made a couple graphic novels of my own, and I took them to Comic-Con like 5 years in a row, and got booths and sold them and shit. So I'd like to think that if I didn't stumble upon Machinima, I'd still be trying to crack that particular egg. That's a job.
Do you still do that in your spare time at all?
What's that?
Do you still do it in your spare time at all?
You know, God, man, like very, very rarely. I always I have like a desk set up where I can do that, and I bought like a Wacom tablet so I can draw like on my computer and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to find the time. So I mean, it's like I thought, when we got let go by Machinima, I was like, oh, cool, I can do comic books now, and then they pulled us back.
Now's
in.
my chance.
Now's my
My
time.
one chance at the big time.
Yeah.
But it's like comic books are such a tough nut to crack, like financially, to make a living.
Yeah.
Because they're just, I don't know. I think I don't know. That's a whole subject I can get into. But
Here's a trick: pouches. Just put pouches on everything.
well, if it was in the early '90s, yeah, pouches were the thing, man.
Pouches everywhere.
Pouches everywhere was a license to print money.
Really
But,
small heads and noses.
and never draw feet. Never draw feet. And very
Avoid the
sparse
feet.
backgrounds.
Just basically be Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld, and you're good. Exactly.
Yeah.
That guy's got millions.
He does.
Larson, which comic books did you want to draw?
Ones involving organic farming, because that's what I would be doing if I weren't making the videos.
Oh wow!
Oh wow.
Saving the world instead of making videos.
Little
for
the
kids.
old organic farming.
Yeah.
No, this is all.
You guys are in North Cal, right?
Yeah. This would all be produced for myself. This is all. Well, I'd sell a little bit of it, but probably for myself.
So you'd be like Grizzly Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I want to prepare for the inevitable apocalypse that's going to happen. So
Are you a doomsday prepper?
No, not at all. If I am, I'm the worst.
Do you have a go bag? Is what I'm asking.
No, I do have an earthquake kit. So if an earthquake strikes, I have a portable toilet and iodine
It's
tablets.
pretty much the same.
So-
that's all you need.
What do
really.
iodine tablets do? I'm ignorant.
It purifies the.
Purifies
the
water.
water.
Because you can't boil
I have
it.
cyanide tablets just in case.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you wouldn't know about
Well,
that.
internet's out. Bye.
So if the internet didn't exist, I'd be dead.
Yeah, his whole entire family was found on their beds. Like
We just
this.
all answer the question like, "Will we probably just kill ourselves?"
Damn,
I think
Time Warner.
It's interesting for us because we all lived in a time where there was no internet. So,
Briefly.
well, I didn't have
20 years.
I didn't have
guess.
actual access to the internet at real access to where I could use it whenever I wanted until I was probably like 14 or 15.
Well, yeah. What people don't realize about the internet now, looking back, is that like it didn't just all of a sudden drop into everyone's lap. Like it started off really shitty and limited,
Yeah.
and like gradually became more attainable. So it's like it wasn't like one day we're like, oh, check out this cool internet thing. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, email. All right.
You know
No
what's
one's
really
ever
weird
used
about
this.
that too is that I don't remember my mind being blown the first time I
No,
used
not at all.
MapQuest. Well,
No.
just even MapQuest, which was fucking
Well,
revolutionary.
it was wildly inaccurate though most of the time.
Yeah, you get lost.
Out here in Sacramento, it worked. Well, wait, what year did MapQuest hit?
That was early.
You had to go from taking directions from people to like going online and not having to deal with anybody.
When we first started our first tours with the band that I was with, like every night at the venue, we would like try to find a way to get internet, and we'd have to print out the MapQuest directions. Like,
everybody.
That's so simple
out,
now that like. I remember, like, well into touring, we were like, we should buy a GPS. That's like a luxury item. We could never have to use printed out maps again.
I remember the first year I was driving, I had a Thomas like guide of Southern California in my car, and I would like find my location and trace the line.
It sounds like we've lived for 1,000 years. No, but it was funny. Like if you would log on to AOL back in the day, and it's like if your mom picked up to call her friend, you were kicked offline.
Yeah.
You were freaking out. Mom, get off! Oh, now I have to log back on. It's got to find an available number to dial into.
I remember accidentally choosing the wrong AOL number to dial out, and then our phone bill came, and it was like ridiculous. My dad was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "I didn't know local toll was a thing, Dad."
Yeah, you dialed out to Japan to connect to the internet.
No.
Hey guys, taking a little break from the fun to tell you about Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear.
For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique, one-of-a-kind items, and more.
Yeah, you have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. That's when the cutoff happens. After that, it's over.
Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/ETC_ and enter code ETC to save $3 on any new subscription.
All right, let's get back into it with the friendos. Woo! What was it like? So the show was initially canceled, and then now you guys are being brought back in to do the podcast, which we found out about it while we were away at PAX, and we're like, well, this is the most brilliant idea that's ever been hatched. Like, this is great. What a great way, like, you get the fans, people that they actually can, like, relate to and have a good time watching to do a thing that they already love doing. So talk about the process that went into this and how it's going to work from now on.
Well, when we got, I mean, look, I don't care about saying it. Like, we got laid off. That's fine. You know, business is business, and I don't, I have no grudges or anything. We said in our little goodbye vlogs that, our time with Machinima was a very positive one. I mean, if you think about our point of view, we're out here on an island, and so anything that happens at the office, positive or negative, we're sort of away from. All we deal with is each other. And so it's been 5 years of us doing this. Like, we've known each other for 20 years, and then, like, the guy that I trust most in life, I get to work with as well. And so when we got laid off, it was like, okay, well, we've built kind of a seed, like, for some potential to see if we can do this on another level and might, attract some other suitors. And so let's just go ahead and keep on building our own channel. Let's build another 10 for the win type show and give some people some more stuff. And then we'll see, where it takes us. And it's like, granted, it's kind of scary because it's like neither of us wanted to get sort of real jobs because we enjoyed doing this.
Nobody wants a real
job. That's the plan. It's like, how long can we hold off on getting a real job? And then Larson, I think, can speak more to this because then, like, maybe a week later, Phil Giuseppe came to us and said, would you guys want to do podcasts now with us?
That's it?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm babbling right here. I'm going to give Larson talk about stuff.
Yeah, he called us up and said, hey, we got this podcast thing. Would you be interested in doing it? And we said, yeah, I mean, so long as we can make it, our show. We kind of went into a little bit of detail about that in the first episode of it, kind of the process, the genesis of the show. And he said, if we can make it ours, and we'd be more than happy to. We'd love to do it. And thankfully, everybody said yes, and they let us do it. And so far, the reaction's been really good. It's
very fortuitous that for us, because it's now, like, we kind of felt like when we were with Machinima, sort of as employees, it was kind of difficult to sort of branch up or go further than where we were. And we feel now that, like, we're able, one of the things about doing the podcast was like, we're happy to do it, but we'd also like to promote ourselves and our own channel. And Machinima has been totally cool about that. So it's kind of the perfect arrangement now. It's like we do the podcast for them, and we get to put off having real jobs, and we get to build up our own channel to the point that, like, hopefully that can be another source of revenue for us. So it's kind of it's beneficial for everybody involved.
Good.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, we were so happy to see that go up.
It was like 6 a.m. on Sunday. We were sitting in what's the name of the airport in Boston?
Boston Logan.
Oh, Logan?
Yeah, Boston Logan. Just like fire up YouTube and like new Machinima podcast. Steve and Larson.
Yeah, great.
What the hell is going on here?
It was
Very happy
really cool.
surprise.
Like a lot of people seem to have that same reaction.
Yeah.
Like there was so many, like, it was on the heels of, then 10 for the win's been canceled, Steve and Larson been laid off, and then everybody's like, oh, why are you guys going from Machinima, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, you're back! Wow, that's great. So it was cool. It was really, really nice. Like, for years we have been sort of a divisive duo. Like some people get on our shit. I'm sure I know you guys have had the same thing. Everybody gets, people get on, fuck you guys.
Believe
you guys
it,
aren't funny,
we're
blah, blah, blah.
white guilt liberal douchebags. We hear it every day. Every day in the comments.
And hipsters.
And hipsters.
Yeah.
And
Elliot's Jewish.
yeah,
It's
apparently.
Yeah. So it's
I remember my favorite was somebody said, if I have to hear the fat one say the number 4 again, I'm gonna slit his throat.
The fat one.
But there was the
I'm the fat one.
In the very beginning, someone left a comment calling us the shit twins.
Oh, that's great.
We thought that was hilarious,
That's
so we
amazing.
embraced it.
that's your wrestling
nickname.
tag team name
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The shit twins.
Yeah, exactly. We're the shit twins. But it's fun because this time around, like, everybody, like, almost unanimous. My dad asked me, "You get any bad comments?" And there was like one on there, like, "Fuck these guys."
I wish
or
my
whatever,
dad ever asked
bad
me if I
words.
had any bad comments, but that's why I see a
My
therapist.
dad is fascinated. My dad is fascinated by what we do. Like, when I told him about the podcast, I was like, yeah, they said they're cool with everything we're asking for. He was like, are you serious? And so ever since the podcast up, my dad is completely He has no idea what a podcast is, mind you. Zero
I was about to
clue.
say, like, my dad
He's
doesn't
like,
know what a podcast is. He'd be like, what is that?
He's like, wait, so what was 10 for the win? I'm like, well, that was a video show. Like,
Yeah.
that was a YouTube video show. He's like, well, what's a podcast? I'm like, well, it's generally like a longer form audio thing, but then there's also a video component to it. Okay. I don't know anything about that. I'm like, I
My
know
dad
it's
always
silly,
just
Dad, but
asks
it
me
is
when I'm
what
going to
it
get off the merry-go-round. He's like, when are you going to get a real job?
is. Yeah.
So,
Luckily, it's weird because my dad was a military guy.
You'd think he'd be strict.
And then now he's about to retire from the post office. But he's always been, him and my mom, both of them, always incredibly encouraging, like, for whatever the hell I want to do. Like, I wanted to do comic books, they're like, good for you. And they were super supportive and shit. So
Nice.
I don't know, I've sort of lucked my way out of having a real job since like 2008, I guess.
when I left home, my dad said, if you walk out that door, don't come back. So it wasn't as supportive. But he's fine now. He's great now. Good guy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good guy.
That's something for Dadcast.
Yeah,
We'll have a
no, we
special-
can work
there we
through
go.
all of my abandonment issues on Dadcast.
It's not just about you guys
It's raising
being dads.
kids, it's about
just
us
about
being-
just dads in general.
Yeah. Dicks. Dads are dicks.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I think we actually kind of just hit on that recently.
Yeah.
So let's see. From M. Dykelt, I don't know. Do you guys have any strange or unique talents or hobbies? If so, what are they?
Well, Steve, you talked about the comic book drawing.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I can-
I mean, it's
yeah,
not strange,
I'm
but
a
it's
bit
a
of an-
unique hobby.
I'm a bit of an artist. I can draw, so there's that, I guess.
You should draw some fan art of us for the back wall.
There you go.
No,
All right,
don't
I
do
will.
it.
I totally
Don't waste
will.
your time.
I'll totally do that. I'll make him a nude selfie.
great.
Yeah, I
There you
mean,
go.
if you need a muse,
Yeah, but with giant
Yeah.
muscular bodies and
Yeah.
very tiny penises.
dad penises,
Yeah, no, the other way around.
right.
Giant dicks, but just really
Dragging
tiny
on the
balls.
ground.
Skinny
baby
bodies.
bodies.
What about
Yeah.
you, Larson?
I don't know if I have any strange or unique talents. I mean, I could like play the guitar pretty good.
Anyways, here's
About it.
Wonderwall.
Trying to think what else. That's pretty much it. I mean, am I forgetting something, Steve?
You know what?
I'm a
You're-
good bowler.
You're a dynamite. No, you're not. You suck.
No,
at
I'm
bowling.
a good
But
bowler.
throwing shade.
I beat you many times and I suck. You're actually this is Larson's surprising unique talent is that I've never seen anybody, including the originators of the song, sing and perform the Humpty Dance as good as Larson. God's honest truth. I'm surprised I haven't
We
catch
got to
on
do that at
video yet, but we used to do
karaoke
all
next
the
time, and Larson do the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
probably one
Like,
of the 10 people on this planet that knows what the Humpty Dance actually is. Not the song.
I know the song.
Dance.
I don't know the dance, though.
The actual dance, yeah.
Also, he's my number one. He's my favorite, and I hate complimenting him because it's not I've known him too long to do this. He's a really good fantasy booker for wrestling.
There's wrestling. There's like fantasy football for wrestling.
No, just
it's not
just kind of
official.
talking
No,
about it,
when
yeah.
we're just talking about wrestling and we're like, how should this match go down? Larson will come up with the most creative solutions possible. Mine usually are just he should just bring a gun to him and shoot the
That's his
guy, and
solution
that'll
to every
shock
problem,
everybody,
yeah.
and he'll
like
win. Larson's are always very like he should be a writer for the WWE because his solutions are always very creative, and I never mine are always.
I would never do that though
The
because that means
Last Boy
traveling
Scout?
300 days a year.
The Last Boy Scout, is that
that's
the
true.
movie where the football player pulls a gun on the field?
Yes,
Just
that's
like that.
how football
Yeah, exactly.
should be.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with
Exciting.
Elliot,
Sure. I guess like kind of same as Larson. I could play a couple instruments.
you're in a band. Go ahead and promote it.
Well, we're trying to change the name right now,
Oh,
so by
okay.
the time I'll promote it when shit's up.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, I'm pretty good at like picking up random instruments and quickly getting to a level where, to a complete moron, they think I'm really talented. But like
Yeah, I'm
getting
that way too, yeah.
getting past that point
Yeah.
is a lot harder. Like I can
Yeah.
pick up like a violin and learn how to play like
Can you read sheet music?
absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
I could read sheet music when I was 4 years old, and at some point I forgot
just
how to
lost
do
it?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. Like I remember in my brain, I remember looking at the notes and playing them, and I fucking lost it. It's
all gibberish to me.
And now I've tried learning it so many times. And you need those fresh neurons.
Yeah, man. I
have
wish I
many
had
more,
learned stuff when I was a kid. That'd be great. I've looked back so many sad times, been like, why couldn't you just put a piano in front of me? That's like I don't know. The piano is one thing that I really I still want to learn. I still want to take lessons because it's such a thing that I don't know. It's like guitar.
It's a very
guitar I
eloquent
can't wrap my head
instrument.
around,
It's
but
very
I can
pretty.
I can mimic stuff on the piano.
Yeah.
Like if I watch a YouTube video a couple times, I can do it and remember that. But I don't know how to like. I don't know. It's something that I really do want to learn. But
The thing is, like my parents, like everything that they signed me up.
we're back
for,
to Dadcast.
Dadcast. I like this I like this version of Dadcast where we just
Yeah,
reminisce
it's
about
just
our parents.
therapy, four-way therapy.
Yeah.
So like everything that my parents signed me up for, like involuntarily as a kid, I hated just for the fact that I didn't have a choice in the matter. But like now as an adult, I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like you could have been really good at soccer. Like you could have been really good at piano. Like you could have been a fucking gymnast. Like it's just when you're a parent, you're just like, oh, maybe let them try this thing. And they fucking hate it. And then
I did pretty
10
good
years
at-
later, they're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I could have been really good at that.
I did pretty well at all the sports that I did, but except for baseball, one time they were like, I'd been like, I want to be the pitcher. Everybody wants to be the pitcher.
Yeah.
And I got to be the pitcher one day in a little league game, and I hit the umpire like 3 times. They're like, you can't be
You're
For my unique talent, I'm pretty decent at magic tricks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten a lot of them, but with a deck of cards, I can at a party with 5 minutes of time. I can
I've
be
seen
like,
you do it.
You could do the thing that the
Yeah.
guy does on the TV.
You can amaze drunk people with
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, I used to do it for tips at the merch table when I was selling T-shirts.
Genius.
So I would just be like, "Hey, you want to see a card trick? Drop $1 in the bucket, kid."
There's it sounds like there's a 4-man act brewing
Yeah.
there, and I don't know how it's
Larson
all
on
gonna
guitar.
relate,
You're live.
but
Live.
No. Larson on Humpty.
yeah.
Dance.
You're
Yeah,
live.
I'll
You're
do
live
that, yeah.
animating the whole thing. Elliot's playing a violin.
Yeah, I'll just someone from the audience hands me a
gymnasting.
random instrument, and I have to learn how to play it.
Yeah,
in
and
5
then I pull a
minutes.
rabbit out of a
Yeah.
hat. We have a winner here, boys. We're gonna be
P.T.
playing-
Barnum would be proud.
We're gonna be signed on to the next big
good.
Comic-Con party as the main act.
There you go.
Perfect.
Let's see here.
God, what else?
Our name will be Dadcast.
There you go.
Let's see. Yeah.
Frosty5 says, "Can Larson give me any tips on growing an amazing beard?"
First and foremost, you need good genes. If you don't have the genetic
So like Levi's,
makeup,
Wrangler.
That doesn't help me at all, Larson.
if you don't have the genetic makeup to be hairy on the face, no matter what you do, it will not happen.
We're
I
like
think
a-
Elliot could speak to this
We're
as
a
well.
split. We're a split
Crushing
thing now. Like
dreams.
me and Steve are sitting here going, "Yeah, that'd be cool if we could grow beards."
I know, it'd be awesome. I want actual tips that can happen. I've actually researched this online, and there's jack
I've done the
shit
same
out
thing.
there.
I've been like, they're like, yeah,
Can't do
massage your
anything.
face and keep good care of it and blah, 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 blah.
You can
And
get
you're
a
just
hair
Like
transplant.
Rogaine on the
I wish I
fucking
could.
face? No, nothing
You can
really.
get a transplant onto your face. Michael Jackson did that because
Yep.
when he was younger, he had all the hair follicles removed, and then he got older. He's like, no, I kind of want to go too.
I didn't have
so
any-
he had them transplanted onto his
I
He
didn't have any
wanted to transplant
removed.
for a movie. I thought he wanted to play Edgar Allan Poe in a movie. That's why he had it done. I
shit.
thought.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I never had them removed. They just don't work.
Yeah, mine are completely dysfunctional. I have patches. I have like this weird strap.
I get it right
patch
here,
that
and that's
comes in
it.
down here.
And
yeah,
the soul
me
patch,
too.
The
What
soul
the
patch
fuck?
comes in.
Yeah, can't really let
Yeah.
that grow out.
I can grow a Hitler mustache.
That's not any good.
Awesome.
Oh,
That's
it's called the
great.
Michael
that's
Jordan.
terrible.
I mean,
now,
that
by
is
the way.
a unique talent
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, there you go. I can be my
Larson,
character.
how old were you when you first had to take a razor to the face?
You know what? I think my facial hair came in a little late. I was probably like 17 or 18.
Oh, wow.
Before I really had to start shaving on a regular basis.
I had to start doing some basic maintenance around like 12 and a half, 13.
Wow.
Like very
Jeez.
basic, like just a couple hairs.
I remember a couple kids in middle school that had mustaches. I always thought that was creepy.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Well, I
yeah.
thought
Like a
I got
peach fuzz one?
like a certain age, and I was like, hey, downstairs is coming in any day now. I'm gonna just start sprouting hair up here, and I'm still waiting for that
I didn't
day.
even start thinking about it. I didn't even start thinking about it until I was like early
Yeah.
20s, and I
Wait,
was
this
like,
isn't happening for me.
I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why can't I do this? Really? I'm gonna be like 50 and be like, yeah, I was a late bloomer. When I was 38, it started
Big
coming in
Santa
pretty
Claus
good.
beard.
Yep.
And it's all just still patchy and Hitler right here.
It's not in the cards for us. Not on this spin around the globe.
I guess not. What a drag. You know, the funny thing is, though, if I had it, I'd probably hate it. That's the thing.
Larson,
I
can
would
you
just take it for
attest to
granted.
that? Is it annoying?
I hated having to shave every day.
so you
that's
just
what I
let it
didn't
grow
like.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a Catholic high school that the dean would come out to the lunch area, and if like you had even just like basic stubble, they'd fucking make you go to the principal's office and pay $1 for a razor and some shaving cream. A single
shit.
blade, like 50-cent Bic razor that they overcharge you on, and say go shave. And of course, I would just my face would be
Slice your face
bleeding
open.
everywhere after that. It's like, all right, do you like this better? I look like I just got attacked.
You know, Christ bled for you, Elliot. So,
So that,
anyways.
Organized religion.
I think
That's what it
a
does
lot
for.
of my resentment for shaving comes from times like that.
I think this is. I'll go into this one really quick just to get it out of the way. I mean, we talked about PAX earlier, and this is kind of just for us. Sorry, guys, but IG Milksteak asks, "What was your favorite thing about PAX East 2015?" We didn't spend any time on the floor.
Well,
really,
we met IG
but we
Milksteak.
met you, so we met IG Milksteak. So meeting you was the best part of
Yeah.
PAX 2015.
Yeah.
I actually,
Hey.
like, to be perfectly honest, I was kind of scared about like being like spotted by viewers and stuff, and like having to talk to people.
I didn't think I would be spotted.
I mostly I didn't think that I would
You
have that much.
egotistical bastard.
I didn't think we'd have that much to worry about, but I was like, there's a decent chance that of the like tens of thousands of people here, someone's seen our videos,
Yeah.
and likes us. And people were asking us on Twitter like beforehand, like, are you guys coming? So I was kind of worried that I was gonna get some like very awkward, very young people coming up to me while I was.
We love your episode
Tired.
about the cum box, Elliot.
Yeah, and I
Yeah, I love fucking dolphins.
I was worried about shattering their worlds when they fully realized that I actually am a complete, total piece of shit. But everyone that came up and talked to me was like super nice.
Yeah.
It was really great talking to everyone that.
The one like embarrassing moment I had was we went to this like insane party, like it was Asus, and, like DJ Headhunters was playing. We were pretty wasted, and I was like, just fist pumping the sky, having the greatest time of my life. And this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, are you Ricky from ETC?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Hey, great DJ, right?" And then I just continued like this. Like the next morning, I woke up and I was like, "Oh my god, I must have looked like a complete lunatic to this person." But it was nice. I was like, "Hey, thanks for watching everything.
Yeah.
This is a great set. Let's all just party."
Well, it's
Great
funny.
time.
The first guy to spot me was like day one when we were in Boston, and it was this guy outside the hotel who looked like he was about like 45, 50, had like a big old sort of grayish beard. He's like, "Hey man, you on the ETC?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Is this my demographic?"
Yeah.
It was interesting. Yeah, there was a couple grown adults.
And yeah,
who
and
were
there
like,
was there was one kid that came to the meetup, and we were like cussing and stuff because I always forget that I'm in front of some people are children.
Oh, yeah.
And I apologized to his mom, and she goes, "Oh no, I watch your videos."
Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. The actual convention we saw almost none
of it. Yeah, we were filming AFK.
We were too busy.
And we're gonna do like a debriefing podcast with Brett and Shibby where we just unleash on how hellish that was.
Yeah,
but it's gonna look great. So now we'll get back to everyone. The questions everyone can answer. Steve and Larson and me and Elliot. What was our?
Oh, hold on. I got a Dadcast segment here. The cool thing about because I got a couple stepkids, and one of them is 16. No, 16 now, and she trips out whenever I get recognized in front of her because I'm her annoying stepdad. We have a good relationship and everything, but she hates whenever anybody recognizes me, but she kind of likes it too because then she kind of gets to, oh, this is my stepdad. I'm related to a famous person. We were having this months ago. We were having breakfast at this local place, and when I was signing the bill, we were leaving, and I hear some kids say, "Are you Steve?" And I was like, "Yep." And then it was kind of a crowded situation, but my stepkid was kind of behind me, and she was trying to nudge through, and she was yelling at my wife afterwards. She was like, "Mom, you wouldn't let me get." She was like, "Why do you care?" Because I wanted him to see me too.
That's awesome.
So it's actually being on YouTube is really cool if you have stepkids because you can impress them. And that's a really good tool to have.
How about you, Larson? Does your baby ever get embarrassed when you get noticed?
Hasn't yet.
just turns bright red. Oh God, Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Stop embarrassing me.
Yeah, and then it poops its pants.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was if this is from Arlequin_V1? What was your very first game that you ever played? Very first video game.
Oh man. I remember we got an Atari 2600 and a Commodore 64. I don't remember the exact order. I think the first game I remember playing on the Commodore 64 was an old Star Trek game where you were. I hate to use the word simulator because that gives it way too much credit.
Yeah, especially back then.
But you were charged with piloting the Starship Enterprise. There was
that sounds
a
cool.
neutral zone, and there was Klingons. And within 5 minutes, I would always die because it was like every gameplay session with my Kobayashi Maru, pretty much.
Yeah.
And yet, it wasn't a Wrath of Khan adaptation. It was either that or I'm trying to think what came packaged with the Atari 2600. It was probably like Combat or something like that. It was one of those two, I would say.
Yeah.
Mine was I had a Commodore 64. I never had the 2600. I had a Commodore 64. And it was either Summer Games, which I remember being a lot of fun. Yeah, or it might have been Battlezone, because I remember Battlezone back then, too.
Is that the tank
game?
game?
I like Battlezone.
Yeah,
it was a tank game. It was all
graphics.
geometric lines and stuff. Yeah, and it was all... Yeah, and that was cool. But I like Summer Games. It's my favorite. So it was either that or Summer Games.
The person that wrote this comment is probably my first game was Halo.
Yeah. What are you old people talking about?
What's a Commodore 64?
Yeah. I think
it sounds like a car.
First game I ever played was probably Prince of Persia on my cousin's computer in 1989 when I was 4 years old. Either that or The Seventh Guest. You guys ever play that game?
I've never heard of it.
It was
I don't think so.
Evan, the producer, knows.
It's garbage. It was one of the first games to have live action video in it, except they couldn't afford good actors, or good special effects, so it just looked like shit. But I'm just amazed by the fact that it was interactive, so it was cool.
It was when Myst came out, and I was like, this is the most beautiful game that has ever existed.
It's like real life.
Yeah. Mine was I had the Sega Master System. And it came with, I believe it came with Outrun. And there was this, the first game I remember, it was you were a little spaceship and you just shot beams out. It was a little floating spaceship. I can't remember the name of it. But then I remember the first game that my dad bought me was Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters game where you're in the car and it looks like Grand Theft Auto style where it's top down.
Oh, yeah,
and you
I
pull off
that.
and then you have to go up the thing like this. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man bounces from side to side and you have to sneak in.
I remember that. That was rad.
Put the trap down. It was fun. It was lots of fun.
Simpler times. Now you can fit 10,000 of those games onto a micro SD card.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could put the entire literary works of all time onto a single SD and then set it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's our art project.
Yeah. I think we're down to our last two here. We have one from these are from Twitter. This is Illusion or at S1R Toast. We already did that one.
We covered
that
that.
guy.
Sorry.
Fuck that guy. We kind of did
No,
that too.
we covered everything.
Oh, we've covered it all. We've covered it all. Ooh, that was nice. But that looks
nice.
great on the camera. What do you guys want to talk about?
Dadcast.
Well, hold on a second. No, this last question here. What would be one of the most memorable moments you guys remember in Machinima? That's a good
No, I
question.
covered that because it was having you guys on Creepy Text Theater.
Oh. Before you guys were let's say this. Pre-ETC,
Yeah.
what's your biggest and best memory of that?
I'd say working directly with Sark and APL on stuff like Radio Respawn and Inbox. That was like the highlight of my life at the time. Was like, because anytime you're in a room with Sark, it's like like he's always on.
Yeah.
It's pure magic. Everything that he's like this sun that you can just orbit. You can't get anywhere close to it because you just burn up because he is such a talented, funny person. It's like I was so intimidated by him when I first met him because I was like, this guy is amazing. And then like the fact that he was so gracious and like brought me into the group and he was such a nice person, it really speaks to his character and it speaks to him as a person and to be able to work on anything with him is just very humbling and was a great thing at the time. So yeah.
Him and Hunda are the two guys that I've never like been on camera with, like worked with. That I've always those are the two guys that I've always wanted.
Well, next time you're down, me and
Hunda
Hunda host the new gaming news show on ETC, and you can be very happy to have you on that.
I'm gonna butt my way in then.
Which that show's all about shoving people out of frame so that you can talk. So
I know, I remember that. Yeah, I remember when you got shoved out.
Pretty much every episode because I don't know a whole lot about games.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. What were we just talking about? Oh, memories of. So like pre like ETC. I guess like once I started getting sent to events, like as an editor, like that was pretty surreal because as a kid I'd read about E3 and Comic-Con and magazines and stuff and be like, oh, that would be so cool. And I was like, I'm fucking here. And the curtain has been pulled down and it's not nearly as cool as I
We
imagined.
talked about this at PAX. I think we were like, I was reading Nintendo Power as a kid, being like, oh my god, if I could ever go to E3, that would be the ultimate thing in the entire world. And then I got there for the first time and I was like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of billboards.
Yeah. But it was cool to check that stuff off the bucket list.
To-do list.
But aside from events, the first thing I ever did with Machinima, which was also with Mr. Brian Larson here, the first project I was brought in for, Terminator Salvation.
You keep bringing this
which
up.
I bring up every show somehow. It always comes back to Terminator Salvation because that was the birth of this great company, essentially. It was me and Larson pulling 80-hour weeks, losing our goddamn minds with a couple Swedish dudes. Just going insane.
Yeah.
Never sleeping.
Nope.
All those things that you do, just recently with AFK where we were pulling those crazy hours, it's always looked back on wow, what a wild ride.
Yeah, wow, that was fun.
And when you're living it, you're just miserable.
I think it's guys that were in World War II, they're just loved those, some of the best friends I ever made. It's like, you were awake inside of a tank at the Battle of the Bulge for 4 days.
Yeah, it was great.
We played a lot of great card games.
That's the modern day war, the internet.
Yeah.
Basically, same thing, right?
How about you guys?
Oh, I remember the Terminator days because back then when I was still living in LA, I was playing.
That was your best time too.
No, it wasn't the best time. But I'm just telling a story off Elias. That I was playing baseball all the time back then, and after not playing for 15, 20 years almost, and I was getting to the point where my skills were finally getting up to snuff, and I was still trying to play every Sunday, every week after working 90-hour weeks on the Terminator thing, and it took maybe a week and a half for me to completely go back to as if I'd never played baseball ever in my life, just because I never slept. And
what an uplifting story!
What's that?
What an uplifting story!
It is. If you want to play baseball, don't work 90-hour weeks.
Yeah, perfect. Unless it's 80 or 90 hours playing baseball.
Yeah.
True.
Tell us a good story.
About Terminator Salvation?
No.
There are no good stories.
I don't think there are any good stories.
No, about the best time you had at Machinima or whatever.
I honestly for me it was always when we were still doing the IGAs.
Oh yeah,
those were always fun.
Those were always because it was we were coming back. We didn't really have to worry about work that much, and There was something about it that was so, I mean, obviously, it's an award show. It's very celebratory, you know? And so it always just felt like, all right, another year. We're still doing this. I'm still doing it. You know, I'm still doing this thing with Larson. People, for some reason, still know who we are. For whatever reason, are still watching our show. Like, it still kind of boggles my mind that it's like we're just talking and goofing off, and people respond to it. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it was for me a lot more about getting to see everyone involved in the company at one place having a good time, more than handing out awards to.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the last IGAs. I remember I was being mic'd up for something. I think Garrettson was about to show up for an interview. Like on the balcony. Yeah. And I remember just like I saw sort of Garrettson in the distance, and I was just sort of giving him a scowl, and he was giving me a scowl because that's how we say hi. I think that's how he says hi to everybody. Yeah. And then I just look over, Larson's getting mic'd up, and I'm like, why the fuck am I even here? This is crazy. This is just. It's absolutely mental, and those were good times. Those were a lot of good times.
It does become very surreal, especially like, you look at what your friends from back in your school days are doing, leading, perfectly fine but very normal lives, and you're just like, this is. You don't think about it on a day-to-day basis, but you're like, this is fucking weird. This is
crazy.
I'm doing.
Yes,
I know.
Bizarre.
Like just today, like we're all just sitting here. Having a conversation for an hour, sitting in a room like...
And we're going to upload it to the internet.
Where tens of thousands of these people are going to watch it.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I don't know if they've made it this far, but if you made it this far, leave a comment.
It's weird. Whenever people say, I hate my job. Yeah. I have not been able to say that since 2008. So... Yeah. And that's there's a tinge of guilt. It's weird. Like whenever I'm doing something that isn't like working, like editing or playing video games, like I start to feel guilty. I'm like, I should be doing something. I should be working or doing something instead of.
Yeah, I think that kind of like hits me too. Like whenever I have, it might be Stockholm syndrome at this point, but whenever I have a day off and I just have nothing to do,
I get really anxious.
I get like, I cannot sit still. I cannot sit still and calm down and just. Chill. I have to be doing like we got back from PAX. I was like, I got back to the apartment and I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot sit here because I'm going to go crazy. I need to go walk around or go see a movie or something because I need to get my mind off the fact that I've just been like thrust out of like the most extreme shit that I've done in my life into doing absolutely nothing. It's hard to do now.
That's why I save all my chores for like the weekends.
Yeah, but I don't like doing that because I don't like wasting the weekends either. Yeah,
just do it.
It's like because I have like a giant backyard over here and like mowing the yard.
Okay, Mr. Rich Man.
I live in Orangevale. It's not Fitchburg.
No.
Yeah.
This isn't fucking Santa Barbara.
I haven't had a yard in 10 years.
Yeah, and that yard belonged to my father.
But doing the lawn is like, it's cathartic almost. It's like, I'm out here doing something. Like, I'm actually doing stuff. Like, I can't just sit around. That's kind of the challenging thing. Dadcast, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. We're back to Dadcast. Just want to mow along.
One of the challenging things about having like a month-old is she likes to sleep on like my chest or my wife's chest, and like she doesn't like to be in her crib, and so I'll just lay there and I'll just have to do nothing. It's like an exercise in patience. Like
she's like your yoga instructor.
Not working. She wants to lay down here on me, so I can't do anything.
So that's therapeutic, though.
So that's just like that's just part of the gig now.
Yep. I guess I better calm down for this baby. Jeez, how long is this gonna take? Yeah. I've got grass to mow.
No.
All right, baby, it's been 15 minutes.
If you leave, don't ever come back. That's
Thanks a lot, Dad. Look at me now, Dad. I'm on the internet. All right. Well, any inspiring parting words maybe for the new dads out there?
No, wear a condom. Just dude, look. When we get back, when we're in town, hopefully soon within the next 30 days, we're going to do a 6-man podcast.
Dadcast.
No, not Dadcast. Yeah. Nobody wants to hear about dads.
Yeah, Royal Rumble. I think the comments will decide that people do want to hear about dads.
If the audience overwhelmingly says we want Dadcast,
overwhelmingly says
you have to do it then.
Okay. But I say we just get out. Are we allowed to drink on camera? On the podcast?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get like a couple of bottles of whatever you guys want,
and just record until we pass out.
Yes, the six of us are just going to start taking him back.
I'm going to tell you what that's going to sound like.
If it's just an excuse to get that on camera or just an excuse to drink with you guys,
it's worth it.
I want to do that.
Our lovely sponsors like Loot Crate are going to be like, wait, what? What did we sponsor?
Exactly. Somebody
paying
start
these guys to
lining
get
up
wasted?
some alcoholic sponsors.
Yeah. I wish. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
We do have DraftKings coming up. That's an adult sponsor.
Oh, that's cool.
Gambling, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Are they
It's not
giving you
gambling.
some?
It's a skill-based
Yeah,
Right, 'cause
game.
online
Oh, that's
gambling's
another
illegal,
skill.
but DraftKings is something else.
I'm a
All
good
right,
fantasy
what do you,
football
I mean,
player.
so by the time this comes out, your new show will be out. So
Yes.
if you want to, tell people where they can find you, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff.
YouTube.com/Steve and Larson.
On Twitter, at Steve and Larson.
Basically anything at Steve and Larson.
We're there.
And if
We're
you
there.
want to do your personal ones,
Oh,
at MF Steve here.
at Joy of Bearding.
you love that beard.
It is a joy.
It is.
All right,
It is
I'm
kind of neat.
at Ricky for the win. This is,
At E. Dewberry.
and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us so much, guys. I know
Thanks
it's
for
weird
having
doing
us.
it over the internet.
Well,
We'd rather
we're
have you
gonna-
there.
We got to do the same thing, but get you guys on our podcast
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, we'll come
Absolutely.
up to Orangevale or wherever
Steve,
that is.
hug the computer.
Hug the
All
computer.
right.
Everyone hug the computer. All right. This is weird. Bye, guys.
Bye. We love
I love
you. All right, see ya.
See ya.
See you guys.